Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jason with Ride Detroit and Electric Avenue Bikes. This is the first time we've actually done sort of an update, okay? You know, usually we give you a review of a bike and then we're sort of out there, but this is actually one of the first times that I'm genuinely pleasantly surprised. Like genuinely I get into a bike and I kind of know what I'm getting into. This Cruiser Go was actually a whole new dimension for me. Not only was it new for me as far as it being a cruiser and something that I would never ride, as so I thought, in a single speed. And then also something in that style of bike with something a wide bar and something with an internal battery. None of it made sense. None of it just all rattled my computer. But now it all makes sense to me. And I've actually started to fall in love with this bike. And I've fallen in love with this bike so much that I've actually got one myself. We've got one for the shop and we're entering into a local contest. Well, I don't think we're going to enter into the contest, but we're definitely putting our hat in the ring as far as customizing this bike, because what I love about it is its ability to do that. The price points puts you at a place where you can add as many accessories as you want without really breaking the bank. But this video is we could talk about all that jazz, but it's really about the app, okay? When we got this bike, we looked at the controller and we said to ourselves, this Hyena controller is really basic, and I get it, like it's just got dots and it just tells the basic information. However, we dug a little bit deeper, and I'll be honest, we actually ended up digging a little bit deeper through kind of a trial and error thing, but we wanted to find out how hard it would be to drop the battery and get that out on one of these things. So when we did that, we started questioning ourselves like, isn't there a diagnostic that maybe we heard of? And so we started digging around, and Anthony actually found online a QR code, and then followed that and found at the bottom of that website, it had an App Store badge. And so he went to that and found the app. Now this, I tell you what, when we're talking about price point, because that's what you're gonna hear me keep talking about, because really, this is really the consumer entry level price point. It's really meeting that level in so many ways. But when you get into how intuitive this application is for what I thought, how basic this computer is, which it is not, for what you're getting for this price, it is amazing. So you can really get into this. The first thing that I noticed is that you get to name your bike. So I went ahead and I left it Cruiser Go because I wanted everybody to see that this is the bike that I'm talking about. But of course, I would name this after probably the shop or probably after myself. But we left it there so you would see. So you'll see right now, it's got all the basic information such as your battery's at 44%, you're connected to the internet. But if I hit the Cruiser Go, actually the icon there, it opens up and it shows all the information, the frame number. Apparently it's gonna show me when I need my next maintenance. I mean, the bike is brand new, and it gives you the ability to trash all that in the upper right. So it looks like if I maybe pass this bike on to somebody or I wanted to put this on a different phone, I could delete it easily or delete all this information and start all over. So I found that to be super awesome. But then just on top, when you get into the console, just more information on your firmware version, because we do have to remember that this is a little tiny computer that takes firmware. So how do you update that firmware? We've really, it's cool because it's taken the power out of the shops. And I like to have the power, but I like to share it as well. So what's cool is now if you want to update that firmware, all that can happen through the application. You don't have to bring it in, okay? Then there's another cool button called the iDrive button, and that really breaks down, looks like the drivetrain of everything. So you can hit controller, and this is really where we start to talk about how important this app is. One of the drawbacks that I heard about this bike is when people first got on it, there was a delay almost when you started to take off, okay? Or it felt like there was too much power for some people. When we dug into the application, we can now see that each of these power levels can be adjusted per level of assistance. That alone, I'm gonna keep it real. I've never even adjusted a high-end bike on that level that I've adjusted each level of pedal assistance. Not saying it can't be done, but never with the application have I been able to just by slider, slide it up and down and move each one. Then If I don't like that, I can hit revert to default. It just goes right back and resets everything for me. So it gives me that ability to experiment. It gives me the ability to step out there and say, wow, now all this talk of power and bike and wattage and output, now it's all in my hands as the consumer. Once again, I don't have to go to the shop. I don't have to ask a lot of questions. All I have to do is adjust those levels. If it feels like it's pushing off a little too fast or not taking off fast enough, I can slide that down. If I'm trying to save some energy in the middle, I can slide that slider there. Once again, hit revert to default, and it takes it right back to where it was. That alone, I'm telling you, makes this app. Not even getting into the ability to look at the battery. You can set a charge alert. So if your battery is up to 100%, you can go inside and manipulate this to send you an alert when your battery dips to a certain level. That, I'm telling you, I cannot put into words how amazing for the money, once again, you're getting. Other, controllers, awesome. And let's talk about, a lot of people come in and they say, well, I need to buy a computer because I'm looking at this computer and it doesn't tell me, my speed. There's actually not only a dashboard where you can look at your speed, you can change the view of that. You can see your trip time. There's an odometer. There's also a really cool map. So you can see yourself on the map. It's almost like a Strava. When you go to the bike reviews section, you can actually look at your trip time, max speeds, and it records day, week, all the way up to the year. I mean, again, so now I've really taken out the need to use any other apps. I can get all that information recorded inside this app that at one time we thought was basic. All right. Still, from the beginning look of it, basic. Once you plug this thing up, you can put that dashboard down. You get yourself a nice phone holder. You can literally put it right there and you can read it clear as day, how fast you're going, everything. I mean, if I were to give this a rating, and I don't rate things, so it's not even like that, but I would definitely rate this in one of my top things that I've experienced in 2022. I'll definitely say that, as far as the ability to pass savings along to the consumer now. Once again, I can say if you're talking about getting it on a great entry level, you don't have to sacrifice anything in the computer with that entry level. Thumbs up, Electra. I am so happy, and it just gives me the ability, once again, to sell this bike to people who have questions about getting in on an entry level. So if you have any questions about this bike, because I feel like it's going to be one of the hottest bikes of the summer. I really do. I feel like we're going to end up moving a lot of these. We're going to end up seeing some really cool colors. We're going to end up seeing some really cool things about how this is going to be. I mean, so if you're looking at this one right now, you can, it looks basic. Once again, wait till you come back at the end of summer. We're going to make a video once Anthony gets to putting all the LEDs on this thing and really making it a Detroit 313 bike. So any questions, shoot them to me in the comments. Please do me a favor. Make sure you watch, like, and subscribe. Every subscription helps. And stay tuned into the YouTube channel. If there's anything that we can do that we haven't done yet, if you have any bikes out there that you think we should review, once again, leave them in the comments or shoot us an email. We'll make sure you get that information. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week.